Good afternoon, exiles. So I get asked all the time why I cook in the break room at work. And while my life's a little hectic sometimes and I'm always busy doing stuff, pretty much the only time I sit still is if I'm sitting at church or if I'm asleep. So, well, let me take care of that. So while I'm doing some cooking in the break room today, I figured I'd discuss why I do this and what's going on. So I'm making goulash today. Well, so what cooking in the like this does is it lets me come in about half an hour or so before work starts. I can set this big. This one's a Nesco. I used to have another brand. It's basically like an Instapot that can also do electric canning. And I can cook in this, and the computer will take care of it like a crockpot or Instapot will while I'm out there working. Then on break, on my lunch break, I'll eat lunch. Then, because I only put the ingredients in here that I can on my second break, I'll ladle everything out into mason jars, wash this puppy out, put the jars in here, and can it, and by the end of the day, I'll have 3, 4, sometimes more jars of stuff canned that I can put towards my food storage and convenience food for the future without it actually taking up much of my time. It only takes up a half an hour of my day because the rest of the stuff I either do on my break at work or the computer takes care of in the cooker while I'm at work, while I'm working. So, and that frees up a lot of time with me. If you're a busy stay-at-home or busy parent, got soccer practice, all that stuff, this same principle applies. Half an hour worth of work, less than half an hour really, and it's ready to go. And you can automate some of your cooking. So while we get this thing fired up, if I can plug it in. So we want to set it for pressure cook. 30 minutes sounds good. Press start. Let's go down. I'll move the camera and show you the tools I use and what I have here in the break room in order to do pretty much every cooking I need to do. So I used to keep less stuff, and I used to keep them in the cabinets here at work because there's basically nothing in it, but I had a rice cooker stolen, so now I keep them in these 2 large ammo cans. So what I keep in here, we'll go to the first one real quick. Ziploc bags, dish soap. I can't even leave the dish soap out without it getting swiped. Sorry, I had to shut off my alarm. Some Italian seasoning, some other seasonings, an open L knife. I love this guy. Should probably replace it with a real kitchen knife, but that's what's in here. In the bottom, I have some honey, some rice. A lot of times, some noodles go in here. Bowls for eating out of. Looks like I need to get some more silverware. Maybe get rid of disposable silverware. But these ammo cans I can lock. So that makes it convenient for me. And this one, a tong, a ladle. This is good for scooping the stuff into the canner or into the jars. My jar lifter, my jar funnel, and I already took it out and it's right here. My rice cooker that I also cook noodles in, not just rice. Cutting board fits nice in here on the side, and a little mini food processor. And none of this stuff costs very much. Maybe 40 bucks in this whole thing set up here. And then this canner is the only expensive part, and I make sure I take it home with me after I'm done every time. So the next thing I usually do while I'm getting ready is because well, I can't, because I can, what comes out of the cooker here, I can't put the noodles in with it. which I would prefer to do, but you can't can store-bought noodles. So take this box of noodles here, pour enough in there for my lunch. About yay, so, and I'll fill this up full of water. And I'll just leave this set here, and about 20 minutes before lunch, my lunch break, I'll just run up here and start this. And by the time I'm ready to eat lunch, this is ready. I get to sit down and have a nice, basically home-cooked meal that's hot at work, and make my life a little easier. So I'm done eating the noodles and what's in the cooker that I'm gonna eat. So I'm taking the rest of it and canning it, ladling it into the jars. Tip that I find very useful is to hold the jar above, not overfilled out, hold the jar above the little electric canner doodad here while I'm pouring into it, or pouring into, yeah, hold it up above here while I'm pouring into the jars. Hopefully that's less confusing that way, me wording it that way. And that way you're less likely to spill, less cleanup. Like I said, I do this to make things easier and more convenient. And if you're going to be doing this in the break room at work or something like that, like I do, make sure you don't leave your jars in the car when it's cold in the winter, and then take them inside and try to fill them up. You'll probably break one eventually by pouring something hot in a cold glass jar. So I'm not gonna make you watch me fill all these. I'll pause the video and pick back up after I've filled the jars and I have cleaned this out. Now, I got in the habit with my late wife of just using a wet rag to clean the rim of the jars off. You really should use vinegar. But my late wife couldn't be around, April couldn't be around the smell of vinegar. It would make her cough and sick and have a hard time breathing. And I've never had a problem with just water on it. Now, you also should use the proper canning recipes and all that safety. Just because I don't do everything by the book doesn't mean that that's the best choice for everybody. I just did a video not too long ago about that. I'll link that in the description. And then me and my girlfriend have been doing some experimenting. Let's see if you can see in here. And if you fill the canner to about that 6 line there before you put the jars in, we've had a lot of luck with all the jars sealing properly and not having siphoning. So we got all the jars in there. It's filled up to, ends up to being about up to the, let's see when you can see, there we go, about up to the shoulder of the jar. Close the lid, lock it. Now the correct way to do this is to put it on exhaust, wait till steam is coming out of it continuously, and then flip it over to airtight. But since I have to go back to work in a minute, I'm just going to switch it over to airtight. It'll take longer to get up to temperature this way because it still has to push all the air out by generate pressure with the steam, venting, losing pressure. But the computer will take care of that and won't start the timer until it's completely up to temperature. So for quart jars, let's see, pressure cook, quart jars, I always do 75 seconds. Minutes, not seconds. Don't do it for seconds. That'd suck. That's really not safe. That's not a canning where I can fudge the rules thing. That's a way to die. And then I'm gonna let it sit here, do its thing. Computer will take care of everything. It'll shut off automatically, cool off. By the end of the day, come up here, do the rest of my dishes, throw this in the car when I get home, label the jars, put them in the storage thing where they belong, and call it a day, and have 5 cans of goulash already canned up for emergencies, convenience meals, or future lunches, anything like that. Makes life a lot simpler. I hope this video helps you and helps make your life easier doing things like this. And thank you for joining me on the journey to use God's gifts to grow His kingdom, live a better life, and prepare for the future.